Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Selfish Podcast with Kina. I'm Kina. And here on this show, we prioritize the most important relationship you could ever have, the relationship with yourself. I am so happy to be back for another episode. Today, I am talking about something that has been a big hindrance in my life, and I know that it has also negatively affected a lot of other people's life. I think at some point everybody in their life deals with this, and I'm talking about fear. Fear shows up in our lives in many ways. Fear can show up as fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of being seen, fear of failure. But what I've come to learn is that fear requires rebellion, not against the world, but against the stories that fear tells us about ourselves. So grab a drink, grab a snack, grab something, get comfortable, because we are going to dive into how you can rebel against fear and take control of your life. What really is fear? Fear is a natural response designed to protect us from danger. But here's the problem. Sometimes your brain doesn't know the difference between a lion or a job interview. A shark, are you attempting to launch your own business? A spider, are you attempting to have a very necessary conversation? Fear also often tries to disguise itself as logic, making us ask ourselves questions like, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not ready? What if people laugh at me? All of these are things that fear brings up in us and keep us still and stagnant. When we think about why fear continues to persist and is so hard to get over it, the truth is fear thrives in uncertainty. Whenever we are attempting to do something that we've never done before, that is uncertain ground, that is new area. And one thing our subconscious is always trying to do is to keep us safe. And so fear views anything that is new as unsafe territory, because it's literally going to require us to step out of our comfort zone, to step into things that we don't know. But remember, fear's goal is not to tell us the truth. Fear's goal is self-preservation, keeping us safe. One really good tool to assist in overcoming fear and moving toward any goal is something that is called the fear audit. Basically, what you do is when fear arises, you pause and ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? How likely is the worst case scenario really? By doing this, you are challenging fear. And what I have learned is that fear loses its power over you when you challenge it with actual logic. And after you've worked through that and you've recognized where fear is showing up and you've worked towards challenging it, another great tool, another great thing to do is to redefine fear. See fear as a sign of growth. If you really think about it, fear usually shows up when we're about to do something very important to us or very meaningful. Whenever we are about to do something that is going to challenge us, what you can do is change your mindset, redefine fear. See it as a sign that you are stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into your growth zone. Remember, every time you redefine fear and you use that as fuel to take action towards something, that is you overcoming fear. And what's going to happen is that you're going to become more confident and trusting in yourself and your capabilities. Another really good tool is something called a fear bucket list. And this is something that I personally do whenever I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I'm stuck and I'm not moving. What you do is that you write down 3 things that you've been avoiding because of fear. Now, this could be big or small. This could be having a difficult conversation, going to the gym, or even posting content on social media. Whatever it is, big or small, write down 3 things that you've been avoiding because of fear. Then next to each of these things, write one tiny, small, incy action step. To give an example, say you want to start posting content, showing your face and speaking to a camera on social media. is to start practicing in front of like one of your friends or your family members, some person who is supportive of the goal, who you trust and you feel safe with. You can start by just practicing speaking in front of them. The thing is, what I've learned about fear is that exposure really helps to fade fear. The more I take tiny steps in the direction of whatever it is that I've been avoiding because of fear, the less fearful I feel, the more I expose myself to that thing, to the environment. I start to feel safer and more confident. I think that tiny steps is one of the best things you can do when you are trying to overcome fear surrounding something. Now let's build this rebel mindset against fear. First thing, you got to embrace the rebellion. To overcome fear, you really need to think like a rebel. And what do rebels do? Rebels question authority. And in this case, the authority is your fear. Like, I really want you to get into character and feel this. Start to ask yourself questions like, who gave fear the power to dictate my life and why am I letting it? Like, really attach an emotion, preferably anger, to the fact that something outside of you is controlling your life and you really want to take back that power. And the thing is fear. Now, there's 3 things that you need to have in your rebellion toolkit. The first thing is curiosity. Instead of running from fear, get curious. Start to ask yourself questions like, why does this scare me? What does it say about what matters to me? The second thing you need in your rebellion toolkit is something that I always talk about: compassion. Be kind to yourself when fear shows up. It is not a weakness. It is a sign that you care. Think of it as a flashing light. This is an area for me to grow. And the third thing is action. And I've said this so many times, and I'm going to continue to say in this podcast: fear hates movement. Even the smallest, tiniest actions towards something will start to silence fear's voice. Now, I know it's very easy for me to sit here and say, take action, take small actions, you need to take action. But I am very aware that when fear does show up, it really does require intentionality and courage to work through and take steps. One thing that has really been helping me is the 5-second rule. How it goes is, when you realize that you are being crippled and fear is showing up and you're not moving, count down either from 5 or from 1. For some people, doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 helps, but for me, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I get to 5, I move. I get up, I move, I do something. No matter how small it is, movement is really the antidote for overcoming fear. Even if it's just sending an email, even if it's just making a phone call, even if it's just folding your clothes, any type of movement in alignment with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish is going to be beneficial when it comes to you overcoming fear. Do not let fear paralyze you. I quickly want to just touch on 2 of the things that come up a lot for people, which is, what if I fail and what if people judge me? And for the first one, me personally, I believe you only fail when you give up and you stop trying. You only fail when you allow fear to paralyze you to the point of no movement towards anything that you want to do. That is when you fail. And when it comes to what if people judge me, whether you show up or not, whether you take action or not, whether you become the person you want to become or not, people are going to talk about you. People will always have something to say. People are going to find something to judge you about. What I will say is, focus on the people who are in support of the person that you are. Focus on the people who are in support of what you are doing and your goals and your dreams and your values. Let me tell you. You see Rihanna? People had so many things to say about her. Till this day, people will say so many things about Rihanna, but I always look at Rihanna as a source of inspiration to just push through and overcome any type of fear that comes up for me, because I know where Rihanna comes from. I have ran on the street as a child. I rode my bicycle on the same street where Rihanna grew up. And just me knowing that I have been where she has been and look at where she is now, regardless of how much people say about her, regardless of what people say about her, she really doesn't care. Ask yourself this question: am I living or doing these things for their approval, or am I doing it to serve my purpose? And really and truly, most of the time, people are so much living their life and dealing with their own stuff. They aren't really studying us or thinking about us as much as we think that they are. Most of the time, it's just that fear in our head perpetuating and telling us things and telling us lies that has us stuck and hung up on what other people will say or think about us. So release that. Just keep reminding yourself, people will judge me anyway. Let me be happy while they're judging me. I genuinely believe that the only time you truly fail is when you give up. When you decide to let fear win and paralyze you and do not take any action, any steps towards anything that you want to accomplish in your life. In my last episode, I spoke about the lady who did the Harry Potter books. And for years and years, she got so much no's, so much doors closed. So many people told her she was crazy for creating those books. And she never gave up. She just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. And now look at what Harry Potter is. I promise you, you have only failed when you give up. Everything else is just a learning curve, something for you to learn from to apply the next time you try again. So guys, remember, fear is normal, but it doesn't have to control you. Name it, challenge it, and take action anyway. Reframe fear and see it as a sign of growth, and build your rebel mindset and question fear's authority over you. The truth is, fear will knock on your door anytime you aim for more, but you have the choice not to let it in. You are capable of way more than you think, and the only thing standing in your way is a story that fear is telling you. So rewrite that story, start taking action, and really overcome fear. Step into who you want to be, do what you want to do, and live the life you want to live. That's it for me today, guys. I really hope that what I said today helps someone. I truly believe that it is possible to overcome fear and really step in and be what and whoever you want to be. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend that you know need to hear it. And remember, rebellion against fear starts with one step. Take your step today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Selfish Podcast with Kina, and stay selfish in the best way. Bye.